Listen, there are levels to this thing called life. And every now and then, somebody shows up who just doesn't play the part or the game, they change the game. You're about to meet a woman who turned the basketball court into a launching pad, into a real estate world, into her stage of not yet. From raising her three professional athletes to coaching women around the world to real estate from closing multi-million-dollar homes, Sheba Coffey is proof that champions are born, they're built. And they're built with heart. They're built with courage. They're built with God's plan. And she knows as the mom of professionals, she's branded herself as the realtor of champions. And she's leading a fear movement that's waking up a generation, women to their worth and their power. I'm so excited that Billie Jean is marketing introduced me to Sheba Coffee. She just doesn't buy homes or help people in regards to their path. She's helping people destined to dream. And when you lean in and listen to her story, it's not just a story, it's a blueprint. It's fire, it's excitement. It allows you to dream and it aims to be the best version of yourself. And I am so blessed. And she travels, she loves family, she enjoys the process of life and knows that God has a plan. And when you have those people in your life, you just look up in God and you say thank you because every single opportunity you have to connect, it grows and blossoms into something more. So I don't want to hesitate any longer and bring Sheba Coffee to the actual stage with our random live conversations with Adrian Mays. Let me get you in here. Hello, beautiful. How are you?
I am fantastic. Hello, Adrian. Thank you so much for having me. I'm trying to contain myself because I'm like, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. I'm so
you
excited.
you you know my what up though from Detroit. Like
Yes,
it's
absolutely, young lady. Yes, yes.
But first, I do want to just thank you for saying yes to this conversation. As you know, I'm doing the 46 Random Acts of Kindness leading up to my birthday for September 6th.
Saturday.
And and
So
yes,
happy
love, and
birthday.
you literally your story is so powerful, and I'm so excited to jump into it because again, just doing the research before and then your excitement at Billie Jean's class. And that's how we connected with just in the real estate world, just
Yeah.
being professionals. But give us a little background before I just jumped into questions. Who is this beautiful Sheba Coffee sitting in front of me?
Oh my goodness. You know what? That's a loaded question. Who
I know,
am
right?
I? So, you know what? I think we describe ourselves by what we do. And I have to say, I'm a mother of three children. That's who I am. I'm a daughter, I'm a mother, I'm a friend. And I'm just a woman trying to make her way in the world by helping and lifting others. I don't know if that answers your question or not.
That is so humble. I love that humbleness in you because the power of being humble and knowing that there's so much more to that. We're gonna jump into that when the with the questions that we ask, right? So I'm gonna get to the nitty gritty. But
Okay.
when we first connected in Billie Jean is marketing, right? And
Yes.
we were both building our brands, trying to
Yes.
learn this AI game,
Yes.
understanding we're geniuses now, right?
Yes.
But what does that moment tell you how stories and power of everyday connections can literally help shape big opportunities such as this, us connected today?
Right. So I really love that question because everyday connections led us to where we are right now. A simple conversation can lead to a breakthrough or a client or a future partnership or a nationwide interview. And so it's those type of small things you think are small that really mean a lot. And so that's all I can say is our connection through a simple conversation can lead to fantastic places that you've never thought imaginable. And this is one of them.
And I love that too because when we communicate in things, you never know who you're talking to.
Right.
And you are the mother of three. You're so humble when I say this, but you're the mother of three professional athletes. Please tell me, how do you manage your time and become a realtor as well, and just enjoying the beautiful life that you have?
Okay, so what I have to say is I am very, very blessed. And that has been over a span of time because my children, I'm giving away my age. My children are 31. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I'm doing this. Like they're 31, 29, and 27. I got that right, right? Something like that. Anyway, they're all 2 years apart. And so two are currently still playing, and one is not playing anymore. They all play basketball.
Uh,
And that was a journey in itself, getting them to that point, which actually unfolded better than I ever imagined because our plan was for them to play basketball just to get them through college so they could go on a basketball scholarship. And so if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. That's what we were thinking, but they all excelled academically and athletically. And as things unfolded, doors were open, opportunities unfolded. They went through those doors, they accelerated, they got elevated, and they thrived, and they all made it to the pros, which is a blessing. And so I would like to say that our part behind that are the little things. I was the Uber before there was ever Uber, driving them to practice. I'm getting up early and I'm taking them to school. I am the bus. There is no bus. Okay. I'm
Right.
making meals. I'm checking their homework. I'm making sure they're on point. I'm at every game. And I'd never figured out a way to clone myself. So I'm like, you go with that one. I'm gonna go with this. We're gonna send this one with somebody else. And I would also have somebody else's children. So you learn, you're blessed, you take care of your blessings, and you help people and lift other people along the way, so you have other people's kids at the same time. So anyway, that was my journey with the children when they got to college. And I'm just going to tell you a secret. One of them hated basketball. When I say hated, she detested basketball. I was like, okay, we're going to keep that as a secret
Right.
until after you finish playing in college, and you'll never have to pick up a ball again.
Right.
Adrian, you are not going to believe this. The other two loved it. This one, the oldest one, hated it. She called me her college year. And mind you, she started all 4 years of college. She played Division I. She did phenomenal. She broke records, hated it.
Right.
Okay. She
Right.
calls me her senior year in college. Her exact words were, Mom, would you be mad at me if I played professional basketball? Girl, I almost fell out of my chair. I was like, wait, I was like, hello, like, who is this? This cannot be my child.
Right.
And
Right.
I was so shocked. And then she said, she learned on the journey, it taught her discipline, everything that we had been teaching, discipline, teamwork, leadership, and all that. And now she gets the opportunity to see the world on somebody else's dime, now doing something she loves. Girl, I was floored. I was completely floored. I was like, what? And so my answer after the shock said,
Right.
you have to do now, you get to do what you want to do. And she
Right.
went on to play basketball. She played her first season in Australia and then her second season in Finland, and then she was supposed to go back to Australia, and then COVID happened and changed the world, and then that it unfolded for her differently, and so now she's working. But anyway, that happened. And then the other two were drafted. My youngest daughter was drafted number 5. I think it was 2017. She's in her 9th year. Don't make me do math out loud. I can only, work with my handy dandy calculator. And then my son finished his 6 years with the Clippers, and now he's in transition, going to a different team in the NBA. So the WNBA has one of my children, and the NBA has one of my children, and it's really been a blessing.
We really don't act like the travel part is the funnest part. When Chris played with the Toronto Raptors, that's where I got on my travel. Like
I love it.
I literally, I've been to 48 of the 50 states. I've been international,
Yes,
and the one thing I love was the connections you're able to make and showing
yes,
people what's possible. So,
yes,
like, in it all with the travel and all, like,
yes.
what is the best part of being the mom? Are you that crazy mom? Because I was the crazy cousin on the sidelines. Like LeBron couldn't stay. Like I'm that cousin. Like as you know.
So no, I'm not the crazy mom, but I am the loudest person in the stadium. I'm the
Right.
loudest person in the arena. Okay, I'm gonna have pom poms. I'm gonna have a nice outfit on. My hair is gonna be done, and
Right.
I'm cheering for everybody. My child, your child, everybody's child, the whole team. You
That's
know whose
hilarious.
team I'm on, and you know where I stand. And so I'm super excited. I get so caught up in the moment because yes, I'm watching the game, and whether you're winning and losing, it doesn't matter. The fact that you're there, it was so many tears,
Yes.
blood, sweat, and tears, and practice, and setbacks, and injuries, and all those kinds of things. I am celebrating everything because don't make me go to statistics, but like less than 0 point something percent actually make it. And
Yes.
it's hard to get there. It's harder to stay. And it's such a blessing, such a gift, and just so mind blowing. I'm all over it. So I celebrate from the time I step into the stadium. That's 2 hours before everything starts. And I just have a party the entire time. And even though we're losing, we're good
Right.
because it was a learning opportunity. Okay. So
That's
I'm
how it's
good.
that's and so tell me for you, like I know, being a mom and wearing all those hats was such a passion for you because I see it as you talk about your beautiful children. But in regards to you being the realtor and coaching, how did you even transition into that? Like, because that's enough in regards to being the.
So I feel like I've worked in multiple industries, and while they were playing basketball, I was
Mhm.
always in sales. And
Okay.
so, but it wasn't real estate at that time. And then now that they're in the pros, I went back to, well, I'm in sales, but then I went back to being a realtor. I got a realtor's license a long time ago. And short version, I wasn't active. I got
Mhm.
married and I started traveling abroad, and then I came back, got into sales, not real estate, and then now I'm starting that all over again. But what happens was COVID, it changed
Mm.
everything, and I was like, you know what, I don't want to work for anybody else. I want to do my own thing. I want to create my own income. And I have a background in sales, although I have a degree in journalism and sports management, go figure. In any case, I wanted to, I really like to help people turn their dreams into reality, and real estate was one of them. Real estate is like a wealth builder. Real estate, like, makes your dreams come true. There are so many things you can do with
Yes.
real estate. I really wanted to help with that. It's also probably one of the largest purchases you'll ever make in your life. And I just wanted to handle people and clients in that with care and give them, what they expect, and their biggest desire. So I guess it was really wanting to have my own business and help turn people's dreams into reality.
And so tell me this, like what makes you different? Because again, you've had your own journey as well and
Mhm.
pains and struggles and challenges that you've had to overcome. When you
Yes.
get your clientele, what's a different coaching for you as a realtor as well as I know you do coaching as well, just in individuals. So,
hmm So, what makes it different for me?
mhm,
So, first of all, I always try to put myself in the person's shoes.
yes. Mhm.
And I always try to help them from that perspective. So what makes me different? So when it comes to real estate, I am not selling houses. I'm not just selling square footage and four walls. When I'm helping you try to find a house, I'm trying to help you find belonging, where
Right.
you belong, and helping you buy the lifestyle that you worked for and that you deserve. So for me, it's, yes, the end result is a home. It is, but it's just not four walls and square footage. It's belonging. That excites me. And then when you're selling a home, yes, I'm selling the actual structure, but what I'm selling is freedom,
Yeah.
because you get, once you sell that home, now you're free to do whatever it is that's in your next chapter, to move on to whatever you want to do. So I create emotional destinations in your home if you're selling, so buyers are just attracted to it, like they can't live without it, and they feel like this was mine, it was made for me. And then for the sellers, I give them, or I like to say, I deliver freedom. So that's what makes it different for me, I think. And I don't want to speculate, but I would say maybe some of the people focus on the structure, the four walls and the square footage. I focus on what it's going to do for your life, how it's going to
Yes.
change your next chapter, how it's going to make you feel, how it excites you. And that's what I dive into. And I always treat every client honestly like they are my family. And
Mm,
sometimes that means tough love, but at
right.
the same time, it means I'm going to advocate for you fiercely. I'm on your
Mhm.
team. I'm your guide. You and I are partners, but I'm your guide, and I'm going to fiercely advocate for you. So that's what I believe is different with
I
the way
love
I approach it.
I love it because again, that was one of my passions as well when I was in the mortgage industry is because that dream, you only, like you said, you only buy a house maybe once or twice if you're not into investing,
hmm
once or twice in your whole life.
hmm
So having that opportunity to show someone their dream and their freedom, those are the key words that stood out for me. Like
Yes.
when you have someone that actually is kind of flawed in regards to what the process looks like, how do you actually show them and walk them through the steps to have the end result of their why, which is either purchasing a house or, what you're actually delivering.
So did you say, how do I walk them through the process?
Yes.
So typically, if they're a first time buyer, like, I meet them where they're at. So I don't want to ever talk to somebody
Hmm.
like I expect you to know this. And then I don't want to talk to somebody, just the opposite. So I meet them where you're at. I'm like, are you a first time buyer or have you been there before? If you're a first time buyer, I'm like, are you already pre-qualified? These are the steps. You need to
Yes.
get
Hmm.
pre-qualified. And then I tell them what that looks like, and then connect them with some options of lenders. You're always welcome to get your own. These are just some options of people who have had success with our company that people have
Hmm.
highly rated. Okay. You walk them through that process so they know what they expect. They know that they're going to be checking your income. They're going to be checking your credit score. And you walk them through the entire process. And then after you get pre-qualified, that's when we go hunting. But prior to going hunting, you give me your wish list. You tell me your must
Hmm.
haves. You tell me your non negotiables. I won't live without this. You tell me the things that you don't want so we don't waste time on that. And then I keep you steady and focused on what you said and focused on your
Hmm.
plan, because it's also an emotional process and an emotional buy. And sometimes you might see something that looks phenomenal, but it didn't check any boxes of the things that you told me that were important to you. So then I just have to check in with you again and be like, Adrian, is 4 bedrooms still what we're looking at? Because that's a 3 bedroom. Adrian,
Hmm.
do you need to have a garage attached, or do you realize that one doesn't have a garage? I bring you back to your wish list so you can have your dream, because sometimes you can
Hmm.
get distracted and mesmerized by something gorgeous, but it's lipstick on a pig. And that's not what we're looking for. I keep you in alignment with what your dream is. So you just walk them through the process. You tell them about working with a lender. You give them a wish list. We follow the wish list. And I tell them what's expected of them, what they can expect from me. And then I get them to the finish line. And I also explain that as well. Closing, what does that mean? It means you pay a whole lot of fees. I can break them down into the fees, or you can just in your mind know it's a range of 5 to 8% of the purchase price and how much money you're going to bring to a closing. Your lender would tell you and give you a disclosure so you'll know ahead of time what you can expect. But I walk them through the process. I hold their hand. If you ask me questions, I answer, but I always meet you where you're at and keep you in alignment with what you told me was important to you. And if you change your mind, that's fine. But whatever you said, I have on this sheet of paper because I took notes on your wish list. And that's the plan that we're going to follow.
I love it. I love it because it's so funny, how we bring back even us having this conversation, in regards to your story. The things that you mentioned when you're purchasing a mortgage, your income, your assets, your credit, keeping them on their why that you actually take notes on. That's like their story of their financial situation to see what
Absolutely.
they can actually afford. So, my
Absolutely.
question for you is how authentic or how important is it for you to not only share your story in the mortgage world, but be authentic and real when they connect with you? Because we find out, and that's the funniest part, one way or another. Like, I'm married, I'm not married, like
Right.
personal and like putting it all together. How important
Right.
is it to be authentic in your story when speaking to you, just not just even in the real estate world, just in general, just being authentic in
Look,
you?
1,000,000%, you need to be authentic, because you not only cheat, you're just cheating yourself if you're not. So whatever you're not sharing is going to surface, it's going to come out. So
Mhm.
let's just be on the same page.
Right.
Nobody's judging you. We need to know what is going on so we
Mhm.
can represent you to the best of our ability without surprises. So I tell people, be honest. This is a judgment free zone, and tell us what's going on so you can get to the finish line. I don't want to waste your time, and you don't want to waste my time either. And in
Right.
terms of the power of stories, I'm also telling them we want to make sure that we do the right thing. So you get the right product, what the right mortgage, but also just because you are, and I'm making up a number, just because you're qualified or approved for an $800,000 house does not mean you have to buy an $800,000 house. Okay. I have lost a home, maybe
Mhm.
one or two, with things happening. My spouse at the time lost his job. Then soon after I lost my job, the mortgage payment never stops. And then you find yourself in a situation. And so my point is learning through experience. Just
Yes.
because you can doesn't mean you should. You
Right.
can still get, if you have an 800, you're approved at $800,000, you could get a slamming home for 600,000. Okay. And not be financially strapped just in case you end up on one income or there's only one income. You don't want to be strapped. So you need to work within your means. Actually, below your means makes the most sense. And just be honest with everybody, because if you don't, you cheat yourself and you waste your time and mine.
And that's the part we don't want to waste. Seriously, it's
Absolutely.
time because we can't get that part back. But
Absolutely.
how do you like, I know you've juggled, like I said, so many different hats, even
Yes.
losing things,
Yes.
failures, successes. How do
Yes.
you actually juggle those struggles that you've gone through and overcome them to even keep going through each day?
Right. So, you know what? That's an interesting question. And it might sound cliche, but it took me a long time to get this to this point. So
Hmm.
early on, I would be in my feelings. I'm just going to
Right.
be honest. And I would press pause and I'm doing nothing. And it seems like you just can't get out of a funk. That's when I was a little bit younger. And then as I matured even more up until this point, the
Hmm.
secret for me that really works for me is when things happen, and life likes for everybody, okay?
Right.
But
It
when
does.
things happen, if you distract yourself by focusing on somebody else, oh my goodness, so many things fall into place. A, you're distracted. B, you're doing something good. C, whatever was going on in your life, it tends to work itself out. And D, it's not so bad after all once you can step out of your funk, if it makes sense. But
Hmm.
honestly, helping somebody else is the secret sauce. Help somebody else in your most distressed moment. And I know that sounds crazy, and that's not the reason to do it, but it works. It works and it feels good, and it'll snap you out of whatever funk you're in. And you do get to be in your feelings. You're human for about 48 hours, but after that, it's going to be
Right.
tough love with a hug, tough love with a hug.
Now, now tell me this, and that's an amazing secret sauce, helping someone else. I live my life by random acts of kindness. I even emailed, I shared with you yesterday that my sister passed away, and I emailed my family and said, now I just want everybody to do a random acts of kindness for my when I pass on. Because think about it, it's helping somebody else get through their tough moments. All this other stuff is pish posh, So
Absolutely.
I say that one to say, what's an actual way that you've helped someone else? Like you were feeling down, you were feeling out. Give me some examples of what people can do that, and it doesn't even always have to take money, right? Like just to
Right.
get out of
No.
the funk or mentality that you're in to kind of conquer and keep going.
So the majority of time, it doesn't take money. So typically, I will run down to a food shelf in a heartbeat, and I'm packing food, and you get in this rhythm, and you're packing food, and you're listening to your music, and next thing you know, 4 hours has passed, and you're like, ding, 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 ding. You guys packed 18,000 so and so meals, and you're like, what? Like I helped do that. I
Right.
contribute. So I'm always down at the food bank, okay? And you can find me at food banks in multiple states. Wherever I go, I'm gonna find a food bank. And then some of the other things that I will do, I have friends that live in assisted living. I'm going to
Mhm.
go visit them. So
Yes.
typically I will do that on Sundays, but you don't have to wait until Sunday. You just go whenever. And
Right.
then other times, sometimes when it does cost money and I'm at the grocery store, I'll pay some money for the person behind me. Or if I'm at Caribou, which I don't really do coffee, but wherever I am, I'll pay for the person behind me, and then I'll leave. I'm like, I give it to the register, the person at the register, and then I'll leave because I don't need somebody to come and say thank you. That's not what I did it for.
There
I'm
we
just
go.
trying to pay it forward and lift somebody else's load. And
I
so,
knew I loved you, Sheba. I knew
with,
I loved you. This
with
is not scripted. This we are not gurus. This
no,
is
some of,
real conversations, and I
yes,
am getting. And I love when God puts amazing people in, just in our path. And I
yes,
truly felt that vibe from you when I first connected with you with Billie Jean. Seriously, because the way you're engaging and asking questions, and the way that we are anyway. And so, just
yeah,
helping people in that feeling of completeness. I
yeah.
love that. Now, and when you're thinking about when you're building these franchise. You've built professionals. You're a professional, right? Then being successful in things of that nature. Like, how did faith, resilience, and that come to play in your whole demeanor? Like, how did
So,
that faith come into play? If I can
so
ask.
that's a really interesting question. I feel like as you get older, you get more in touch with faith, but I've always been grateful. I've
Mm,
always been filled with avalanches of gratitude, always, because the creator always provides. I travel, I do so many things. I have my health, my family have their health. Like I'm just like seriously, it wasn't until maybe 2 years ago when life really started life. And that's when I lost my father. That's when I lost a close friend abruptly and close together and stuff like that. But I think I was always just filled with gratitude because sometimes as I travel, I would
Mhm.
see things that I can't unsee. I would
Mm,
see people maybe in a wheelchair, maybe without legs or without feet or something like that. Or, people are hungry. There's some things you cannot unsee. And that
right.
just makes me even more filled with gratitude. Like, thank you, God, my children are healthy. Thank you, God, that I'm healthy. Like, I feel like I look good, I feel good, but I'm so blessed. And the thing is, my mind is blown
Hmm.
by the gratitude of other people. When people help my children when I'm not around, when people would help my parents when I'm not around, or when I am around, it's indescribable. I'm like, oh my God. So I feel like it's in me anyway, but it's also a responsibility and a duty to lift other people, because so many people have poured into me and my parents and my family and my friends. Like, it is a joy to do that for someone else. And sometimes it's not always something heavy. Like last night, I'm at my daughter's basketball game and she gave me all her tickets. So I gave them to people. One was this 13-year-old boy. He and his mom came, and
Oh,
he's a fan. He is a basketball fan. Like, you're a Detroit fan. He's a
right.
basketball fan, but only women's basketball. He was wearing the jersey of one of the players. He was there to meet my daughter, but
Oh,
I got him to meet and take pictures with 5 of the other players. He had no idea that was going to happen. That was such an easy thing to do, Adrian, and it felt
yes.
so good. And his mother was like, oh my God, this is like his Christmas present. He didn't know he had tickets to the game. He didn't know he was going to stay after. He didn't know he was going to meet my daughter. But when he found out at the end, I'm like, oh, you're going to get a chance to meet Nia. He was so excited. He was just grinning from ear to ear. He's 13,
Oh,
energetic, he's happy. But his favorite player, he had on her jersey. He met her and 4 or 5 other players and took pictures with all of them. He just happened to be prepared. And he had cards, their little sports cards, and they signed it as well.
oh,
I'm telling you, I was so overcome with joy, and they were doing backflips, belly dancing, break dancing, and everything, just so happy. And it was a minor thing, but it meant the world. So I
right,
love doing
right.
things like that.
And those moments, you just those are the best times of life, right? When you can actually put a smile on someone else's face
Yeah,
and they don't even have any idea that it's going to happen. That
yes.
is so, I applaud you for that. That is literally God's work because later on you'll look back at that picture, you're like, "Ooh, look at me with all the women." Like
Yes, at 13, now he should be a
yes,
chick
yes.
magnet with his arm around all these players,
Right,
all individual. Like, look at that. Like,
right,
and I'm
right.
sure the kids are like, how do you know her? When did that happen? But I love that. He was
That's
just so excited. And let me tell you, I say I'm the loudest person in the arena. I met
right.
my match because he was right beside me. I was like, I had to add a little like this to add to
Right,
to me because he was giving me some competition and cheering.
right.
So it was fun.
Tell me, love, how do you step into your power? Like, who inspired you to be, maybe a role model in your life that inspired you to be so amazing just in your spirit? It shows through our conversation. Seriously, because you can tell when people have passion. And I can see the passion, the reality. Like, and I say this all the time because there's no script with our conversation, right?
Right,
So
right,
this is just real talking back and forth.
right.
Who has inspired you to be this amazing you?
You know what? So I really wish I had a specific answer or maybe a different answer, but we're going to go here. Someplace I didn't know we were going to go. So I was in I was in college
Hmm.
and I went overseas to Spain, and while I was there doing study abroad, my brother passed.
Oh, sorry.
And I had no idea that he passed. So I come back, I land in New York. He lives in New York. I call him, the phone's disconnected. I'm like, wait a minute, I did that one too quick. Like, what's wrong? I called again, the phone's disconnected. I call my parents, my dad answers, and I was like, I tried to call Lonnie, his phone's disconnected. What's going on? Girl, I was not ready for this. My father said, Lonnie's dead. That's what
Wow.
I said.
Wow.
I was like, what? And then he went on to say, and don't talk to your mother about it because she's not handling it very well. I'm like, that's my first conversation. Like I'm not
Not
handling
handling
it.
it right.
And I'm thinking, how on earth did they not tell me my brother's dead? Like, that doesn't even make sense to me. And then he went on to say, you were in Spain studying, and we didn't have the money to bring you back for his service. You would have failed all your classes. Like, so
Oh,
so they didn't tell me. So I'm like, not
you
okay,
missed everything. You didn't
but
miss.
but okay. And so from that,
Mm.
I was just I was shook. That's not even that's a word, but I was shook, I was shaken, I was messed up. And I
Right.
was just stuck in a funk because not only did he pass, I missed it. I didn't know anything about it. Like I
Oh.
just was messed up. And this sounds crazy, Adrian. I was just in my feelings for way longer than the 2 days that I allow now. And I couldn't get out of it. It was like I was in quicksand, like I didn't feel like doing anything and all that stuff. And I'm almost getting teary-eyed right now, but it finally dawned on me that life is precious, not
Mm.
promised. So I was trying to find some answers and all that stuff. And I started thinking about all the things that keep you from doing things and all the excuses that we give. And honestly, it's fear.
Yes.
And it's so it was really my brother's passing and all the impact that it had on me that allowed me to come up with just trying to, I was sitting in it. And
Yeah.
I was thinking about fear stops us from doing things. Like I'm not afraid, but I just can't do it. I just can't go forward. Like it was a mess. And at that time, I was still in college. I wasn't mature enough to believe in therapy and reach out for support. God is good all the time. And
Yes.
so what came to me was fear, but it wasn't the fear that you're afraid of. It's using fear as an acronym, fear as a guide, like focus every
Hmm.
day, like on habits that's going to move you forward, on action relentlessly, like never give up. And so I ended up doing a TED talk on that. And what inspired me was the loss of my brother.
Mm.
And that's what inspired me. So now if I ever get into a funk, I remember life is precious and not promised. And
Yes.
I use that guide. And that's how I coach women too, with that guide, with the F and the E and the A and the R and everything that comes with that to push you in action and keep you in action. And it was all because I lost my brother in a strange way.
Oh my God, that is so amazing. Because I was going to ask you about fear. So you said focused everyday action
On
relentless, correct?
action relentlessly. Yes.
Oh, that
Yes.
so people fear, and now literally you kind of threw it. That's crazy. But people fear success. They fear failure. Like
Mhm.
in that instance with your brother, that's crazy. Like you said, how did you conquer that fear? Like, how did you even come up with that acronym for you to be able to focus every day with action relentlessly? I love it. 'Cause I
So
say face everything and recover. That's my fear acronym, but I love that one. I'm stealing that. That's
you know what?
awesome. Fear
I love what you just said. And I just lost my train of thought. How did I come up with that? So, okay. So, what happened was Lonnie was like my favorite brother. I hope my
Mhm.
other brother doesn't see this. But anyway, he was like my favorite brother. And in my opinion, he checked out early. And I
Mhm.
felt like I need to honor him by doing the things not that he can't do, but he's not here anymore. So I got to definitely make my life count because he doesn't get to, not
Right.
anymore. And so that's what made me be relentless with this thing. But in sitting in my funk was, I don't know, fear just came to me. I had nothing to do with that. Somebody was speaking to me, somebody planted a seed in me. And I'm like, what is the thing that stops people? Because I just want to use this to help somebody. And fear
Yes.
kept showing up. I'm like, what is this thing? But it wasn't fear that makes you afraid. It's the fear that guides you and pushes you forward. So it was him and me trying to make everything count, but and honor his life because he's
Yes.
no longer here to do anything and to honor himself.
It's crazy because we'll talk. Well, we talk about it right now. Like my cousin passed away May 27th of 23, and my sobriety journey started November 20th. Passed away way too young, right? Didn't
Mhm.
know that was my cousin's birthday. That wasn't the date of my sobriety journey. So I know we talked a little bit backstage about the angels. He's an angel in my life. Like I
Absolutely.
wasn't able to go to the funeral, and he was one of my favorite cousins, and he passed way too soon. And the fear, like you said, I use that every morning to when I
Yeah.
wake up
Yeah.
because he's not able to. I'm
Yes.
happy like this
Isn't it?
because people don't understand it. I don't care anymore.
You don't
But
have to. Yeah.
but this excitement is because I can try to impact someone throughout the day.
Yeah.
So I applaud you for just you being relentless. I love that. Yeah, I love your focus every day. I'm taking that one too. That is amazing.
Focus every day on action relentlessly.
Focus
Yes.
every day on
It
action
works.
relentlessly. Okay, I love it. Okay, so if you hadn't created the Sheba method, now I gotta hit that real fast, right? Now tell me, now tell me about the Sheba method. Where did it come from? How did you actually come up with this concept?
Okay, so I don't know the numbers, but there's like over 3 million realtors. A lot of them aren't active, but for the ones that are, there's a lot of competition. And what's for you is for you. But I
Right, right,
always want to differentiate myself. I'm not just a real estate agent. Like I'm a realtor who will fiercely like take care of you and advocate for you. And I came up with the Sheba method for sellers when they're selling their home. So, if I'm going to go, everybody's pitching a potential client. Well,
right.
what makes you different? So there's several things we do in common, but what makes me different is how I market your home. And so each letter of my name stands for something. So the S stands for spotlight. I'm going to put your home in the spotlight. So it's not just going to be a home among competition. It's going to be a home that jumps off of the page or jumps off of the video that grabs attention. So I'm putting your home in the spotlight. The
Okay,
H, I'm going to highlight your home's uniqueness. I'm going to find it with you and or your wow story. So I'm going to highlight that. That's the H. The
okay,
E, I'm going to give you exposure, but not just exposure on the MLS and various different internet sites and all that. I'm going to give you global exposure, worldwide exposure, I can't talk today, exposure to the top 5 buy-in markets in their language. Okay,
mm,
so global exposure. The B, I'm going to include buyer psychology in our strategy so that when people come see your home, it's not them coming to see the square footage and the walls. They are going to feel something. Okay, they're going to smell something that really appeals to them.
right.
Okay, it's going to it includes the 5 senses. We're going to taste, touch, smell, feel, and hear, and I incorporate all of those along with pricing it right. Okay, and then the A, it's
Mm-hmm.
the artistry of storytelling. So you want to tell a story about this home that is true, that moves people to act, that make them feel like
Mm,
they want to not only live there, they will compete for your home. And
love
so
it.
that's the Sheba method.
Come
And that's
on, that
what
is
I, and
amazing. I
that's
didn't
what
even know that was loaded there. See?
I, and that's what I do for sellers. And that's how I create your home as an emotional destination that people can't wait to live in.
Mm,
So, and then I also do it for the buyers, but we won't go through that. But that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to super serve my client and also
yes.
differentiate myself.
And that's what this conversation is. And so I know the two is going to tie into in regards to the how you conquer the fear with
Yeah.
your buyers and sellers with your Sheba method.
Yeah.
Like you use your story so magically in regards to just helping other people kind of see the next step, the next goal. Like
Mhm.
tell me, if you didn't lean into your own unique story and have each home lean into their story, what would be the end result? Like what would it look like if you didn't have your own way, I guess what to say.
So if I didn't lean into my own story, my goodness,
Yes.
you know what? I'm not sure what that would look like, but I think it would be pretty unattractive and I don't want to know. Seriously. So when I lean into my own story, no, I'm serious.
I know, but it's the way you I don't think I wanna know that.
So when I lean into my own story and
Yes,
share it, and when I say share it, I'm talking about you share the vulnerability, you share the mistakes, and you share the pain. Those are the learning lessons and the takeaways that you share with people. And that's what people learn from. That's what people want to hear.
yes,
That's what makes people be able to relate to you and you
yes,
be able to relate to them because they feel like, wow, she gets it or she's been there before. It might be a different circumstance, but she knows suffering. She knows loss. She knows pain. She knows hurt. She knows tears. Like
right.
she can navigate me through that. But here's the thing that gives you, or I hope inspires other people to share their story. Because Adrian, I believe I'm not for everybody. You're not for
Mhm.
everybody.
I
So
know.
we both have a voice. We both have something to say. Certain people are going to hear you, certain people are going to hear me. I believe everybody has a gift and a story that you need to share,
Yes.
because somebody or multiple people out there need you and your story just like they need oxygen to breathe. And
Yes.
so, like I said, and the very person that needs the oxygen from you so they can breathe won't hear it from me, and they might not
Hmm.
hear it from you. So don't cheat yourself. Don't cheat yourself by not sharing, and don't cheat
Right.
them. So I say me leaning into my story helps people lean into their story so they can help other people, because I believe the ripple effect and lifting as we climb. And you don't wait until you think you got to a certain space. You share all the time, because whenever you share in that moment is when somebody needed to hear that very thing. You might not even know that person. You might be speaking to a crowd. You
Yeah.
might connect with one person, but you changed their life and you blew their mind. And that's exactly what they needed to do.
I love it. I love it. Now tell me this, how important is mindset
Oh,
in everything that you're actually speaking of here today? How important is it for you to even have what is your go-to? Like, for example, my morning started off kind of rough, but I had this mantra, I can, I will, I shall be victorious. Let's go. And so I was and then I say my thy will be done, not mine, God, thy will be done. So those are my two go-to.
right,
But
right,
what is your mantra? Like when you have those moments, because we all have them, we're human.
right, right, right,
What
right.
helps that mindset to get you going in those, tough times?
So, you know what? I have a positive mindset anyway,
Yes,
but when I go to bed and when I wake up, especially when I wake up with gratitude, because if I open my eye, everybody didn't join me in
that's
waking
right.
up this morning.
That's
Okay.
right.
So
Yes.
I'm thankful, and I say a prayer right then and there. I even do a little dance. I'd be like, I love you. I trust you. I thank you. I celebrate you. Thank you, God. I love you. I trust you. I thank you. I celebrate you. Thank you, God. And I'm starting with energy and everything.
I
And
like
I
it.
am so serious, and I'm loud with it because
Yes.
I'm excited that I get another opportunity to continue on doing whatever work I'm doing or enjoying my family and those types of things. So I go through everything, and I'm not going to say a prayer, during this interview, but and God knows I have avalanches of gratitude for everything He allows me to be, do, say, and have, and just
Yes.
everything. And I don't take anything for granted. So I
Oh,
would say prayer, and I just set myself up that way by setting the tone for my day. I'm
yes.
ready. I'm excited. I'm grateful. I expect great things. I'm going to help people. And I always run into divine helpers and divine connections because I believe I set the tone. I set the tone. You
Mm,
can't, well, you can ask for whatever you want, but I feel like you shouldn't ask for all these things and you don't give anything. So I
that's right.
constantly give, and that's not the reason why, that's just who I am. But as a result, either I receive, my family receives, or people connected to me receive. So I set myself up. I
Good
set
for
myself up
you.
every day.
Every day. I love that.
And one other thing, and I haven't done it to you, but maybe once or twice, but I send positive messages to people also after I do my little dance and I'm all excited. And it's not automatic, it's whoever comes to mind. And I
Mm,
send them those little messages. You've gotten one or two
yes,
from
I
me
have.
in your text messages. I'm just trying to touch somebody just to let them know I'm thinking about them. I never need a response, no want a response. I just want you to know that I'm thinking about you. But typically, that is a day starter for somebody else to provide them with some positivity. I believe in the ripple effect. So I share.
And you don't know this because those moments that you sent those text messages, seriously, even within this last few weeks or what have you, they came so at intricate times. Like, and I'm not even attitude, mentality. And it was so keep doing what you're doing because you never know who you're impacting on the way to your why. We don't talk every day, you know that, but when you connect with me and just send me those random text messages, it makes me feel so it's just so on time. It feels like God sending an angel. I'm being honest because I look at life differently now. I know that God has his hands on everything that I do. So
Yes.
every person and anything that happens is his design, right? And
Yes.
so to getting to the I'm going to be doing it in the morning. I'm telling you, I'm loving it. But but I want to get to the top 8. But I do want to ask you one question before you do that. Like when you look at your journey and
Mm,
you look back at everything you've accomplished, and you've already told your higher power God has taken care of you. What do you say to those people that may not that struggle to get, when you're coaching people and they're having down and outs and they telling you what they can't do or what have you?
Right.
What do you say to those people to get them to turn a corner? Because I'm telling you, those text messages help. The dance is in my head, I'm telling you. But how do you actually verbally let them know, like, I'm here for you, I see you, and I
Right.
can help you through?
Right. So I typically tell people, and I believe this of every person,
Yes.
you are enough,
Mm,
period.
we can end the
Your
interview right
voice,
there. You are
your
enough.
yes, your voice is powerful. And
Yes.
even if your life, just like everybody, have setbacks, your story is your
Yes.
superpower.
Yes.
Okay. And so I constantly pour into people and have them do exercises to build their own confidence, because you have to start from a place of full confidence. And if
Yes.
you're not feeling it, I'm just going to keep pouring it and pouring it, and pouring it. And I'm going to make you do exercises, and I'm going to harass you, tough love with a hug, until you're doing this. And I'm challenging you. I'm making you turn in homework. I'm calling you. I'm texting you. Don't make me show up, because I'll come to your house. I'll ring your bell. I'll come to your job. I know where you work. If you hang out at basketball games, I'm going to be at the gym. You can't
Yes.
run and you can't hide. And you know I'm on your side and I'm your
Right.
cheerleader. So I am just going to keep pouring into you, but start making you pour into yourself by answering questions, by filling up your own cup and overflowing your confidence so you can get unstuck
Mm.
and move forward. And whatever your plan is, we have reverse engineered your plan. So you have a plan to follow and you're going to check it off one day at a time. You're going to make progress,
I love
because
it.
I'm not going to allow you not to. And here's the other thing, even if you don't want to, you're not blocking my blessings. This is about to happen because I'm here to help, and you're gonna let me help you with
Right, right. Period. I love
period.
it. I
Yes,
love it. I mean,
yes,
you have built winners not only around you, but even through this conversation, anyone listening to the replay, and I can tell that you had this power in regards to speaking to people in general, because I feel it. I truly do. I am so excited to in the growth of our journey. I mean, I'm just being amazed at just how God works, because again, positivity is something that's infectious.
yes,
And the
absolutely.
more and more people that, if you smile, you can't be angry around us because we're,
Yes,
we're smiling through it all, right?
yes,
So I do want to be respectful of your time, because I know we could keep going. I left and so I want to make sure I stop at the top of the hour, and I want to get to the top 8 of the fun stuff, right?
okay,
So let
okay.
me ask the fun questions, which the first one is, like, if you could be any superhero, and it doesn't have to be Marvel or anything, because
Right.
people ask that. Any superhero, what would that who is your superhero would be, and why? Mine is Flash. I'm a Delta. Delta Sigma
Oh,
Theta sorority. So
I'm a
Flash is
Delta
mine.
as well.
Come on,
Yes, yes, yes. I did not
see
know
how
that.
that works.
Okay, I
Come
love
on,
you
this national
more.
them 22, 1913. You got to cut it
Oh
out.
my God. Oh, listen, don't
God,
make me start
I didn't
singing.
even
Okay.
know. Come
Oh my
on,
God.
Sor.
Okay, that's a whole nother story.
That
Okay.
is.
Okay. So if I could be a superpower, you know what? Honestly, I would make up my own. I'm on the struggle bus. I would make up some flying Queen Sheba that could teleport, is what I would do. But if I have to choose one that we're familiar with, I would go with Wonder Woman, because I would be powerful, but
Right.
also filled with compassion.
I love it. I
Yes.
love it. Wonder Woman's a good one. See how we didn't
Yes.
even know we're swords? Come on, that's just God
Yes.
in itself. That's beautiful. Okay, but I kind of figured that because we're, great people are deltas. No offense, to everybody else. We are who we are.
Right.
And so my next question for you in regards to food. Okay,
Yes.
now food, it doesn't matter about weight or anything. I'm not talking about your
Girl.
calorie count right now.
Girl,
Like,
please. I don't care
so
about
if you
calorie
could eat
count.
right, if you could eat
Girl.
any food, what
Yes.
would that food be, and why? All the time, all day, every day.
All day, every day. Like I love spicy food. Okay. So I
Okay.
would eat buffalo wings until there was no more chicken in the world. Okay. I'm never turning down a buffalo wing. You can wake me up at 2 a.m. and be like, you want some buffalo wings? I'm like, yep, what?
Right,
So
right.
there's several things I enjoy, but it's really hard for me to turn down buffalo wings. That is one of my faves.
I understand. So BW3s, do you do Buffalo Wild Wings? Or
Oh,
you
absolutely not. I just
No?
can't. And we won't even go there. I am not impressed with their wings at all, but I do love good buffalo wings.
Buffalo
I've had
wings.
probably 4 or 5 experiences at B-Dubs that I won't choose that experience again.
Got see how marketing I'm just saying, do better, B dubs. Okay.
Right.
So my next question for you is in regards to well, let me ask you where you're from, because I'm from Detroit, Michigan. What up though?
Right, right.
Yes, born
So
and
I'm from
raised.
New York, Queens, New York. The Queen is from Queens, New York.
I
So
love it. And where is home now for you?
so right now I'm in Atlanta, but I've lived some of everywhere, Adrian. Like you would be like, just stop telling me because I've lived from New York to DC to North Carolina to Minnesota to Turkey to Spain to Japan to Pennsylvania and here. Like I'm all over the place. So yes.
That's amazing. I thought my list was long. Okay, because I've been from Detroit to Kentucky to Dallas to Toronto to so I feel you on the all around the world thing. That's amazing. I love it. See how we connect on different things. Okay, so
Absolutely.
in regards to travel,
Yes.
okay, now where's your favorite? I have to still claim Toronto. When I was living there, it was amazing. The different cultures. I've been international, but Toronto
Yes.
still has my heart. It's my favorite place to travel. Where's
Yes.
your favorite place of travel and why?
Oh my gosh. So that's a really hard question because I've been to about 18 plus countries, but
What
I,
countries? What countries? What countries? That
oh
would
my,
tell you don't have to tell me all 18, but which ones
okay,
stand
okay.
out even when I say
So
it?
Spain, Turkey, Japan, Dubai, Hong Kong, Thailand, come on, London, Paris. Oh, those aren't countries. France, England,
Jesus, please.
Italy. Um,
Yes.
okay,
Okay.
so
So your favorite. All right,
right.
right.
So, and I had a fabulous time, literally every place I've ever been. Oh my
Mhm.
God. But if I'm forced to pick one, I would honestly have to say Montenegro.
Why
Listen,
Montenegro?
Montenegro is next door to Croatia. I
Okay.
was just there last month. My oldest daughter got married. Let me tell you, it was mind blowing. It was breathtaking, gorgeous. Like you woke up and you're like, I'm in a picture frame, but you
Mhm.
were literally in a country. Like you could
Mm,
reach out and touch the beauty and you could just smell the joy. And it was like epic on
mm,
every level every day. And I'm not just talking about the wedding. When I go, I go. So I'm doing bike tours and I'm doing other kind of tours and I'm doing food tour. You name it, I'm doing it.
right.
And what do you call it? The zip line? And I'm doing everything. But then the actual ceremony and all of those things literally blew my mind. I sent you, I think, a couple of
Y
videos so you
yes.
can see
Oh my
all
god.
the fireworks and just everything and all the gas and the flow of the ceremony. It was just amazing from beginning to end.
Mm.
And I just want to say it was epic, it was magical and literally magnificent. And I would highly recommend going to Montenegro.
How were the people? How was the customer service? Like how was that part?
Right. So I meet
Oh,
no
uh-oh.
strangers. I meet no strangers, and everybody's a friend in the first five
Mm,
or 10 minutes of us talking. And so everybody was fabulous. And I laughed a lot. First of all, there weren't any people of color over there, but everybody's tall. So I was in like heaven. It was fabulous.
right.
They honestly were intrigued by your skin color in a phenomenal way. Like they
Mm,
embraced it, they invited it, they were loving it. And as a result, they would speak to you with kindness and care. And I think that was just their personalities anyway, but
right.
kindness and care. And they're trying to guide you, like at the restaurants. They're like, I'm like, what is your favorite? And then they were like, oh, you have to try this and this is the absolute best. It was so warm and welcoming, and it was such a inclusive welcoming of
Mm,
culture. It
mhm,
was a
mhm.
really good feeling, and you would just feel like, wow, I love it here. I'm having a great experience.
Those pictures blew me away. I'm telling you, I put that on my list because I have not been to Montenegro yet. So that is definitely on my list, 100%. Oh my gosh. Okay, thank you for sharing that. And so, in regards to, what was my next question? In regards to dates. So, if you have a season or a date, my date now is November 20th, 2023. Like I told you, my sobriety date. I'm 21 months sober. And my
Mhm.
mind is so clear. My skin, my eczema's gone. There's no way possible I'm going back to alcohol. Like there is
Fabulous.
no, I am done. So what would you say is a day that stood out for you in regards to just, this impactful for you? It used to be my birthday, but I changed it.
You know what? It is my birthday. It's March 29th.
Okay,
And
okay.
once again, because every time I have a birthday, I get another chance. And it was a
Mm,
gift. Like I'm
yes,
celebrating another year. And let me tell you, I celebrate. Okay. I celebrate all month. You can forget just that one day, March
yes,
1st, and it might run into the first week of April too. I do something like all the time. And
yes.
so, and even if I'm not traveling, like we're gonna do movies, we're gonna do dinner, we're gonna do classes, we're gonna do all kinds of dancing. We're going to do comedy. We're going to do immersive experiences. We're going to do escape rooms. We're going to do spas. We're going to do brunch. I'm telling you, we're going to go like comedy club. You name it, we're doing it. I'm like all over the place. We're going to go listen to live music. We're going to go play in the band. We're going to do all kinds of stuff that you never thought you were going to do. And I'd be like, Adrian, hey, you're going to go with me tonight to whatever. We're going to go to games. We're doing something all the time. And so, and in doing all of that, we're laughing all along the way.
Yes.
But this is what I started in the last 3 years. And I'm not a religious person, I would say, but I'm a spiritual person.
Mhm.
And I pray for people. I pray for myself. I have a great relationship with God. And I am so blessed, beyond blessed. Oh my God, I have avalanches of gratitude. But this
Right.
is what I started for my birthday. So I was so excited to hear you doing this random act of kindness. I would call people before my birthday starts. So I call people in February. I'm like, hey,
Mhm.
my birthday is March 29th. They already know. I'm asking one person every day to pray for me, but you
Mm.
do it with me on the phone so I can hear it. So
Okay.
you pick the day, you pick the time. We're going to connect at that
Mhm.
time. And I hear you pray for me. Oh my God. Adrian, this is crazy. When you hear what people say for you authentically on
Mm.
their own, it is so mind blowing. It will make you laugh. It will make you smile. It will make
Right.
you cry tears of joy. And it'll make you be like, whoa, wait a second.
Right.
Wait a second. I don't think you can say that in a prayer to God. And then, like,
Uh-huh.
the stuff that I have heard has been hysterically funny, but also so touching. Like,
Mm.
I mean, I could tell you some stuff, but this is being recorded, so I'm just like, oh my, listen, this is inappropriate, but I'm gonna share just a little bit. So, so I have a husband now. So I was in transition and being single after 23 years, and I was praying for the man that had all the characteristics that I wanted. And then
Right.
I finally graduated to, you know what, God, your plan is always the better plan. So I want your will for a man for me, right?
Mhm.
And in
Mhm.
that plan, make sure everything's healthy so we could swing from the chandeliers and all that
Right,
other stuff.
right, right.
So one of my friends actually put that in her prayer for swinging from the chandelier, and I'm almost cracking up laughing. I'm like, wait, you can't laugh during a prayer?
Right.
Like, isn't that inappropriate? Like, I'm all about being appropriate, but
Right.
anyway, that was something else. And so, but then there's so many other times when people have prayed for me and for my children and for my parents and for my health and for my relationships, and they said things that were so touching, like literally it would blow your hair back and you're like,
Right.
wow. And it feels so good knowing that people hold you in that space,
Mm.
like,
Yes.
and that's what they think of you. So
Yes.
anyway, I get a different prayer every day for 31 days. And the crazy thing is, that is such a gift to me. The crazy thing is, everybody everybody thanks me for asking them to do it. And like one of my friends was like, you know what, I asked God to help me be more comfortable in praying out loud, and you
Mhm.
called and asked me this. Like, wow. Like,
Yes.
wow. And so it just makes me smile from ear to ear. And so that's one of my rituals every year.
I love it. I love it because with these random acts of kindness, I'm so like the same thing. I am so thankful that you even taken this opportunity because I get to learn authentic stories about you. I'm silly too, you know that. So I'm just I'm just saying like the authenticity of it. You know what I'm saying? That and
Yeah.
just being you and being real and being able to show people hey, real works. You don't have to be put a front on or facade. People have pain, people have
Yeah,
struggles, and we're
absolutely.
here. I love that. 31 days of prayer. I have to
Yes.
look trying to incorporate everything, and I take them up too for my birthday, like I typically did before I got into all the situation that I'm in. So I'm
Mhm.
trying to get my life. I'm trying to climb back into my, my old Adrian. So
One
and
day at a
combine the
time.
two.
You got this. One day
Yes, I
at a time.
know. We
You're like,
talked about it
let's go.
before.
Let's go.
Yes.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. You got
Yes.
this, Adrian.
Yes, I'm telling you, because of my birthday, like I told you when I was offline, like, no, I don't work on my birthday. What is wrong with me? Adrian, spa day, having fun, just enjoying that God has me here. And I'm so glad
Right.
to hear that your day, March 29th. I love it. Okay. So,
Yes.
in regards to your brand, right?
Uh-huh.
If you can describe you and your brand in one word, my word is resilient for my brand. I have a one word wall. And
Okay.
I'm going to put your word on the wall once I, update everything one day when all of my life catches up with this stuff. But like I said, what is your one word that you would actually have, to put on the wall for your brand?
I would say champion, and it means a lot of
Oh,
different things for me.
champion. Uh-huh.
So, champion, because I like to coach people to win, whether it's in real estate or coaching,
Uh-huh.
or as an athlete. And the other thing is, I'm going to champion you. Like I'm going to advocate for you. And the other thing is, I feel like a champion helps you lift yourself
Mm.
into your next championship chapter, whatever that is for you. So
Yes.
champion just encompasses all of it.
Oh, I love that. Lift this you up into your next champion chapter. Come on, Adrian. I love that, Sheba. I'm taking up something. Okay. I love these. I love these sayings or acronyms that you have for yourself as well. The Sheba method is classic. I love that too. But my last question for you before I let you go in this evening is if you could tap yourself on the shoulder, right? Your older self and tell
Mhm,
and give yourself a piece of advice in
mhm.
regards to just you know what? I need this in order, and they listen because we didn't listen as kids. So, what will be that one piece of advice from the experiences and things that you've been through that you would give yourself to be able to go through this life with success?
Wow. You know, I think there's so many different things, but the thing that I would say the most is always be in action
Mm,
because nothing works if you don't.
mm,
Nothing. So, you have to be in action, do something, keep going. Because you sit here and you hope things are different, but if you're not doing anything about it, you're
that's
going to
right.
get the same results. So always be in action because if you don't, nothing works, nothing changes.
Mm, I love that. And you know what? How God works is us connecting, us even, you trying the different AI things and with Billie Jean. But I honestly thank you for this conversation for several different reasons. Not only for saying yes, because I wanted to have, this as a memory for 46. This is more it's kind of selfishly for me too, because again, I want to help people, but showing people the story, but
Mhm.
also just showing your resilience and showing how it works for you to go through everything the struggles you went through. You know everything you've been through and every person that you encounter. But
Mhm.
I feel it through the conversation. People are going to feel it on whoever's listening live or even on the replay. And even if they connect with you in coaching, it's just in life. I want to thank you for being you because you have impacted me in such a way that you have no idea. The text messages that you send, the insight when we talk. I'm telling you, I'm going to Montenegro when I can travel again. These little things, like, please continue to be you because I know your children are beautiful and I never met them because they have a representation of their mother and their father. You had your hands in that and you showing people how to be a champion by action, not words, but empowering them and being a model. So thank you for being a part of my 46 Random Acts of Kindness live virtual conversation series and being a part of my journey because you're stuck with me now. I keep telling you that. And it doesn't, it doesn't you can't get rid of me. It's one of those things. You can change your number. I'll find you. It's social
No,
media.
no,
It's one
I
of
love
those
it.
things.
I love it. No, that's fine. We'll be best friends together at the hip. No, I love
Yes.
it.
It's
You know,
but it's
I
one of those things I honestly applaud Billie Jean for because he got like-minded people together. We're
did.
go-getters.
Yes.
We're aiming to be the best that we can be. Finances and all of that and
Yes.
accountability, but
Yes.
when we work together, major things can come. And so I know
Absolutely.
God's working on both of us. So
Yes.
thank you so heartfeltly. Thank you for making my 46th birthday amazing in this conversation here today as well.
You know what? I want to thank you. No thank you necessary, but I received that. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of this. This was so special. I love random acts of kindness, any kind of kindness, positivity, your personality, anything that you're involved in is always positive, and you're trying to help people. I'm trying to help people. We can lift people up together, and that's
Yes.
how we're unstoppable. And so this was such a pleasure. Two people tried to book things for me within this time frame, and I was like, no, I have a priority until 7 o'clock. Like, that just can't happen. And so I was so looking forward to this, and I was so excited. I had to work off some steam before we started, because even before we actually went live, I was like,
Uh-huh.
let's go,
You're
let's
right.
go, let's go,
I'm
let's go.
telling you, I'm
I
doing
gotta
that.
bring out my pom-poms, because I do have them. I do have them. And so for me to be a part of your birthday celebration means the world to me. I don't take that lightly. And I just think this is a real honor. And I've enjoyed every minute of it.
Thank you, me as well. And I'm gonna actually give your testimony. I'm gonna do one for you too, just how you felt with the live conversation and everything. So I'm gonna let you go now and get back to your 7 o'clock. But
Okay.
okay, I truly appreciate you. Let me do my wrap up for me. Don't like I'm
Oh,
gonna don't hang up.
okay, wait. So I'll be able to give you feedback before this is
Yeah,
over?
that way, because I know if I let you go, I won't get you for another month. Just give me 1 second, and I'm from mom of pros to realtors of champions, Sheba Coffey building winners and champions in life and real estate. Oh my gosh, I am so blessed, and I know it, and I love how God works in my angels in my life, and the one thing that I can say that there was several things that stood out in our conversation besides me seriously going to Montenegro sometime because she showed me the amazing pictures and being a champion and doing the work. The key thing about doing the work, my friends, is you don't have to do it alone. There's people out here that you connect, even if you connect on this replay when you watch how energetic and lively that we are, and take random acts of kindness to heart. Share that message with anyone that actually can be able to show some type of love to someone else because you never know who you're going to impact on the way to your why. I'm going to leave you with this. One thing that she was stood out seriously out of everything we talked about over the last hour was gratitude. You got to give yourself grace, but know that having some God have a higher power and hands on you, you waking up in the morning, try to dance, and also just give yourself a pat on the back, like, hey, it's going to be okay. Work through it because you're not alone. Use your family. You are a champion, and hopefully you enjoyed this live virtual conversation as much as I had. So hopefully leave comments in the replay. We're getting started. Couple of days to go, but you know how we end every live. I can, I will, I shall be victorious. What up, though, Detroit? Let's go. Thank you, Sheba, so much for making my 46th birthday amazing. Thank you so much.